What's up, church photographers? I'm Phil. Let's talk about these tips to help you with your photography. As a church photographer, it can definitely be tricky. You're dealing with low light a lot of times. You're dealing with a lot of bright light on stage. You're dealing with motion from the stage. You're dealing with congregates outside that may or may not want their photo taken. So you kind of have to be a jack of all trades when it comes to photography. So I put together a couple of tips that may help you throughout your day. So number one, staged photos. So when photographing people in churches, it's important to not be a distraction in any way. We're in the business of capturing emotion, and to be able to do that without breaking somebody else's concentration is extremely hard. So sometimes it's okay to stage photos from somebody from the welcome team, from the serve team, or from the cafe. But you need to be careful because a poorly staged photo can come across as disingenuous. So trying to capture a true emotion, somebody laughing, somebody greeting somebody, somebody giving somebody else a hug, those always come across really well in your social media posts or in just your photography in general. So keep an eye out for real emotions from people, even if it's a staged photo. Try to get them telling a joke, laughing, being happy. So number two, capturing emotions. So whether it's people laughing, smiling, crying, worshiping, whatever, all of these emotions help tell a story. For example, baptisms are really good for emotive photography. For example, when they're coming up out of the water and they have this grin from ear to ear on their face. They have this sense of relief. They have this sense of hope and joy. That is a wonderful moment to capture. Another example is out in the parking lot, friends greeting each other that they haven't seen in a while, or congregation members shaking hands or telling a joke or just congregating. All of these emotions that you can put into a series of photos help tell a story. And that leads me to my next point, telling a story. You see, videographers have the luxury of capturing 24 frames a second with music, with motion, all of this stuff to help tell a story. We have the privilege of doing it with one frame. So plan ahead on what you're wanting to capture and a story that you're wanting to tell. You see, good photographers can tell an entire story in 3 frames. The best can do it in 1. As photographers, it's our job to tell a story with the images that we take. So point number 4 is shooting in various focal lengths. To properly tell a story, you shoot wide, you shoot medium narrow, and you shoot narrow. That's why it's important to vary the focal lengths that you use to capture your images. So shoot wide, get a big establishing shot of, say, the church, maybe an event going on outside. Get a big wide shot of what's going on, and then move on to maybe a medium shot to where you have people greeting each other, you have people hanging out, small groups of people. It's a much tighter shot, but you still get a gist of the event going on or whatever is happening at the moment. Then move on to your super tight shot with a telephoto zoom. You can get in details, you can get somebody praying, get their hands up in the air. Details from the day, you get decorations, you get the small details that someone may not have noticed during the day, but later on would appreciate. Those 3 images right there can tell a story. Where you were, what was happening, and who was there. Number 5, communicating with your communications director. That's right, you're gonna have to talk to other people. I know, I don't people very well, that's why I talk to a camera. If you have a communications director or a social media person, whatever their label is, it's always best to communicate with them to find out what their needs are, because they're the ones scheduling all the posts throughout the week. So go and find them, maybe they want some pictures of this certain event or this section of the church, maybe the children's wing, maybe they need more worship. Heck, maybe it's even the media team. We like having our photos taken as well. Just saying, for all you photographers out there, we love it too. It might help get you some more volunteers. Now, if you are the communications director, have a shot list in mind. Put together a shot list during the week saying, I need 10 photos of congregation members outside. I need 5 photos of worship. I need 3 photos of pastor. I need some photos of the welcome team. and then pass that list on to your photographer. Communication is key in this, and if everybody's on the same page, everybody's lives are so much better. Number 6, don't focus on just one subject of church photography. The church is a very big place, and there's a lot of things going on. From worship, to the greeting crew, to the parking lot, to the cafe. There's so many little pieces that are going on that people kind of overlook. I think it's really easy to just focus on the worship because, let's just be honest, it's fun. It's like concert photography. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of emotion going on between the band and the congregates, but it's not the only thing going on. Go outside, go talk to people in the parking lot, capture their photo. Go to the cafe, get somebody ordering drinks. Go to the parking lot crew and maybe get somebody on a cart if you have carts. Number 7, leave some room on one side or the other for text. If your comms director or your graphic designer or whoever needs to make room for text for a post or for an ad of some sort, always put your subject maybe over to one side so that they have room to fill in this area with whatever kind of text that they're wanting to put in. Plus, it's always good to never shoot squarely in the middle the entire time. Those photos can get very boring and stale. So put people over to one side. It leaves a whole bunch of room over here for text, graphics, information, whatever it may be. Number 8, presets. I have a preset that I use for my church that I created a long time ago so that all the posts that we have look similar. One's not vibrant and flashy, the next one isn't undersaturated. They all look the same. I want all of the photos, whether they're taken from one photographer or multiple, I want them all to look similar. So in Lightroom, I set up a preset that I've been using for the past 3 years, and I adjust it every now and then, but generally all the photos look exactly the same as far as the toning and the grading goes. And if you have Lightroom CC, you can import that preset into your phone or your tablet or wherever you choose to edit. Number 9, mobile editing. I won't go too deep into this because I think one of the other presenters is talking about this, but I'll tell you about how I get my images to my editing platform and out to my communications director as fast as possible. For me, I do a lot of my editing from my phone. I do it from a Lightroom mobile or from an iPad that I have set up, or if I have my laptop with me, I'll bring that. The quickest way that I have found, I got one of these Lightning to SD card readers from Amazon for like $12. It plugs right into my phone. I can drop the raw file right into my phone, edit in Lightroom mobile, and then ship it off to my communications director to use immediately. Now, if that's not your jam,
Jammed. Raspberry.
I just picked up this DJI Copilot Lacy drive. So this is really cool. It's got a card reader and it's got a battery built into it. You just plug your phone into the Lightning port and you can use this as your raw storage backup and editing platform. Open it right into Lightroom, do your edit, apply your preset, whatever it may be, and then ship it off to your communications director right then and there. That way, I don't have to bring my laptop everywhere I go. It gets beat up in my backpack. I'd rather just leave it at home. And number 10, last but not least, prepare for low light. I know it's scary. Your camera may not perform very well in low light, but it's our job to be prepared for that. Boost your ISO. Who cares if it's grainy? Lightroom has a great denoiser built in, and even if it's a little grainy, who cares? Little grain never killed anybody. I normally shoot at 1200 ISO on Sunday mornings. When I'm outside, of course, the ISO drops, the shutter speed goes way up. I like that shallow depth of field. But when I'm inside the sanctuary, especially ours is painted black. It's a dark room. The only thing lit up is the stage. If you go back on one of my other videos, you'll see me talking about embracing the darkness. Boost up your ISO, open up your aperture, and slow down your shutter speed. If your lens has internal stabilization, that's great. You can shoot a lot slower. Generally, I would not go below double of your focal length. So say you're shooting at 24 millimeters, I wouldn't go below 1/50th of a second. If you're shooting at 70 millimeters, I wouldn't go below 1/40th, 1/50th of a second. That way, your images can still be relatively sharp with a slower shutter speed. So I hope you're taking away something from this video valuable that you didn't know before, and you're able to improve your church photography. Hey guys, before you go, I've got 2 bundles of presets for sale in my shop, my 2019 collection and my 2020 collection. All of the proceeds go to feeding Phil and his family foundation. I love this foundation with all my heart, and it's a great way to give. So head on over to philwmedia.com/shop to pick up those bundles right now. Thanks again, guys. Have a blessed week.